Hey folks, so I'm going to talk about some things that can help if you want to get started practicing no mind. First thing I would suggest is that you solve whatever issue is causing you to excessively think. Now I know that can be easier said than done. Sometimes that can take a long time, but I would suggest trying to solve that issue, because eventually, if you keep at it, it'll probably get solved. And so once you do that, you can have that peace, and then you can chill out and practice no mind. Another thing is recognize that silencing your mind is temporary. When you're first getting started, you don't have to say, okay, I'm going to silence my mind forever, for the rest of my life, and I'm going to be like an enlightened, person and never think again. You can just say, okay, I'm going to do it for 10 minutes, or I'm going to do it for a little while, and then after that I can continue obsessively thinking about whatever it is I want to obsessively think about. Also another thing is recognize that you don't need to think all the time. A lot of times we think we need to be thinking all the time, otherwise something is going to go terribly wrong, or we're going to lose something, or lose something about ourselves, or become bland or something like that, or whatever it is for you. So we feel like we need to think in order to have this kind of in order to maintain an identity, or plenty of reasons, or this problem is never going to get solved if I stop thinking. So you can recognize that at least sometimes it's okay to not think, just intellectually. Also, when you're practicing no mind, realize that when you're practicing no mind and you have a silent mind, and you're just completely silent in the moment, you're much more like the animals than how modern day human beings are. Because animals, for the most part, are silent and, relatively silent. They don't talk as much as human beings, they maybe make noises here and there, but you're pretty much being like what an animal is, which is basically silently observing your environment and just silently doing things. So it helps sometimes to embody an animal in a little bit of a way, and think of yourself more like one of the animals rather than a human being with a nuanced character. It's just much more simple. And another thing that can help is when you're not using words to express. Sometimes if you substitute body language to express, and you say things with your body, sometimes that can calm your mind down, because you don't feel like you're being completely silent. You're just instead using body language in order to express rather than words. And still you have no mental noise regardless, because that body kind of compensates for it. Alrighty, just a few tips. See ya.